Hello, my name is Veronica, and welcome to the Learning Lab, episode number 63, Zachary's Dino Book, part 3. In the last episode, I shared with you the front and the back cover, but in this one, we're going to take a look on the inside. So come on into the lab today, and let's get started. Do you remember that awesome Dyno Punch I told you I thought I had? Well, I did have it, and I found it, and here it is. This one is from EK Success, and this is the pattern. So when I started playing, this is what I got. I just punched along the edges of the page just to get something cute. So I cut this white paper to 7 3/4 because when I remove this, it doesn't take off very much. It actually keeps a lot of the image there. And so this is part of my book. I went into my dinosaur cartridge and used the card feature and cut some of the dinosaur shapes using cards. And this one has a texture on it. You might not be able to see it, but I'll show you on some other ones. Now when I cut this at 7 3/4 and 7 3/4, it only cut 7 3/4 height-wise. It did not do it width-wise, so I had to go in and kind of patch this. I actually wanted the dinosaur to be on this side of the page because my binding would be over here, but I embossed him on the wrong side, so my binding's going to have to go on this side. He's going to be pretty close, but you know, I think he'll be okay. This is another one that I cut, and I used the coordinations cardstock, and I embossed just this part of the bird. And how I did that was I took my embossing folder, opened it up, laid this down on the side where I wanted it. Now I have the Fiskars handheld tool that you can use to go around this to get down into the spaces, but it wasn't really getting the nooks and crannies the way I wanted it to, so I went rummaging in my kitchen drawer and came out with my juicer. Love the pointy tip that's on there so that I could really get down in there as much as I wanted, and I have this side to burnish it down. And what I like about this over the Fiskars tool is when you use the Fiskars one, it really messes up the back of what you're doing. But when I use this, I get the pattern on both sides. I also cut this one and use the same technique. Now this is going to kind of act as a peekaboo. So whatever's here, you're going to be able to see behind it to the next page. And I haven't decided what I really want to do with that. If I want to keep it this way, or if I want to trim this out and then just attach it to another piece. I actually am kind of liking having the little peekaboo effect. Additionally, I played around with making some pockets. This came from Laura at Follow the Paper Trail when she did her envelope mini. So I went ahead and pre-cut this, and I'll anchor those down. They haven't been done yet, so that he'll have tags to pull out. So there's one there. There's also one here. There's a tag here that he'll be able to decorate. And then there is one back here, but I don't know if I'll anchor it to the page or have it as something that he can pick up. If he can't pick it up, then I really didn't need to decorate all of that because you're only going to see the top side. And I have enough leftover cardstock that, you know, amazingly the colors coordinate, that I'll be able to use to just punch out some pull tabs for him. This is just another page that I cut out using my Cricut, and I thought, well, this color would look nice on that, and maybe some stamped images going around. This is also another page, and this is just more or less decorative. So it'll be two-sided if he chooses to use that, and maybe I'll just put a piece of white cardstock here, and then he can decorate it with some stickers on the other side. I'm telling you, I learned to cut it at least 7.86 or something. I probably should cut it at 8 because I cut this one out and it came out way too small. So to compensate for that, because hey, I'm not throwing this away, I took my coordinations cardstock and cut it to length, and then I punched it out with my Dyno Punch. I have not sanded this down yet, but I will. And what will happen is this will attach right here to the side in order for me to be able to put my binding in. And I thought, well, you know, good save on that one. Here is another one that I cut out that I'll probably add some texture to him, and he'll be another see-through layer. Now, oddly enough, this started out as a big scallop piece that I cut out, a card that had scallop on the edge. But again, it did not cut true to size. Let me just put this here so you can see. I have fold under a bit of the tab, but it just wasn't working. So I ran it through my Cuttlebug folder, and I thought I'll cut a page that's the 8x8 size, and then I'll use it, and he'll just be able to stick some tags down in there, and this will become an interactive, I guess I should probably turn it this way, and it will become an interactive page for him. So when I did that, of course, that got me rolling on the tag idea, and I went back to my Cricut. This is cut to 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. I stamped the background using this paw print stamp. Then I just took the paper and cut it down to size. I love this project because it's making me use tools I forgot I had purchased. I have this notch die set from Basic Gray, and the notch that I used on this one was the one at the top. It's kind of rounded, and that's what gave me this rounded notch on here. On my Cricut, I cut these out, and I cut them with a shadow layer, and I cut, for every black, I cut 2 pieces of white, because when he pulls this out, I want him to be able to utilize both sides of the tag. And so maybe this page might end up being the Jurassic page, but each one has a pull-out where he can do his own images on both sides. And I use tags, bags, boxes, and more for this. So I thought that turned out really neat. And then on the back, he can still draw, or he can put some stickers, whatever he likes. And then the final thing I'll share with you today is this little pocket card that I made, that we can pull these out and open it up, and inside is where he can put some of his stickers or whatever he decides to put inside. And I just put these tags in here just so I can get an idea of what it would look like. This is actually the paw print paper, I think, from Making Memories, but thought it was pretty appropriate for a little dinosaur book. And if he wanted to talk about a certain species, then he could give each species their own little book. Now, one other thing that I considered doing with these tags that I've made, and I've made a lot of them, is give him a background on some of them. And so I went back into my box and pulled out these Martha Stewart leaf and branch clear stamps. Let's get this mounted up. And I have pulled out quite a number of different inks to work on this. Okay. I'm gonna have to push that just a little bit. Okay, I went back and punched the bottom up just a bit because it was looking a little bit faded. But one of these on one side and one on the other side, plenty of places for writing something or making a cute little animal. I think he is going to enjoy this book immensely. I can't wait to just finish up the rest of the pages and put it together for him. Of course, there's going to be a lot of white page space in there, so he'll have that to work with. And in addition, he'll have all of these cool stamps that he can use to decorate his book, along with lots of wonderful stickers. So thank you for joining me in the lab today. As always, please remember to check out my blog at inkollusions.blogspot.com. Until then.